All right, it's been a while. So we're on day 121. Yeah, day 121. It's been a surreal journey, honestly. I'm at the point now where I would say it is a little, I would say, lonely. Like it's peaceful. Like you'll find as your days get longer and longer, the street builds up, that you just have this like inner serene peace. Like it's very hard to explain. A lot of people think it's not just because you're older, right? I think that's where the misconception comes from. But it's like knowing that this isn't the final reality. So you have this like sort of like you can kind of see past, the illusion, the false illusion of the ego. And it's becoming more and more apparent because I've developed, I would say, the awareness that you can kind of see things as they are, which is very important. Like, especially with people, right? You probably have friends in a relationship, whatever, whoever, but you probably view them a lot from potential and not as they are. It's something I've noticed I've done. And it's like, and this is why I tell everyone, if you're not retaining, you have to. Like, there's no, like, I wish I'd give you another workaround. Of course, workout. I'll talk about it in the video, like how working out is probably more important than SR, but not in the way most people think. But if you don't retain, it's like, because you're gonna run dopamine, woman, pleasure all the time. But when you can't do those things, parts about yourself start to like kind of creep up. Things you've been hiding. The shadow, as they call it, as Carl Jung calls it. Those things you start to become like aware of. But once you're aware of it, oh, okay, you can see like, oh, okay, you can learn how to like, not to destroy it, but like to overcome it, or like live with it. Like Naruto and the Nine Tails, it was a bad thing, but it ended up being, a great power. So those things have just started to kind of pop up from like, oh, okay, it's not as bad as I thought. Like, oh, I can work with this, and you kind of develop that ability to kind of like look at yourself objectively. Because for me, it's been the greatest like amplifier. Like a lot of things I look forward to doing now, all the energy, like, there's thousands of benefits, but it's really just more so the inner alignment. Think of like a tire, when you get your tires aligned, so the threading, it wears properly. Like when you're out of alignment, your tires go back quicker. You got to rotate them more often. You got to go to the shop, but when they're pointed forward and, they last longer, you get a bunch of other benefits. That's what alignment kind of feels like, if that makes sense. It's really been 120 days. And that's another thing too. I feel like as dudes, it's really important that we like build merit. If you guys seen Black Clover, I forgot the exact quote, but Asta asks the Wizard King Julius, like, what's the most important thing to being the Wizard King? And he says a bunch of things, but he's like, it's not boop, it's not boop, it's not hope, or whatever it is. He's like, it's merit. Merit. SR is how I can't think of a more difficult thing. That's merit. 4 months, you have done something that very few percent of people can do. And that gives you the serene confidence where it's like, you don't need to meet people's expectations, because if you look at it objectively, okay, this is really difficult. That's why most people don't do it. But I'm doing it and it's easy. So, okay, that doesn't make me better, but you just have a different standard. And it's very important to have like high standards. I find it's almost dangerous because as your standards raise, you're going to start auditing yourself, but then the people around you. And then a lot of people, subconsciously, I've noticed, I can attest to this, like people that you really thought like, and this is scary. And it's like a lot of people when they're like, oh, I'm gonna start retaining, you're not prepared for the things that are gonna, I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of things that have happened. Not that I wasn't prepared for, I just didn't expect. They've all been good. Like ultimately it's always good, right? You could argue nothing's really bad. Everything is good, right? Like if you have a breakup or she cheated, it could have been a good thing because and she might be toxic, It's a whole, what's that story with like the Chinese, like a farmer, and like basically something comes and he's like, oh, maybe it's a bad thing. But then like something else occurs and he's like, oh, maybe. And it's kind of like, it might seem bad in the present, but it's really not. But it's like a lot of times like, wow, like I just didn't expect this to happen. Interactions at work, people you thought you'd hang with don't anymore, just a bunch of things, But more so, I think the most important thing is like you develop this like inner stillness. Think of it like it's like a barrier. Like you, instead of like trying to force everything. Everyone's seen Avatar. It's like instead of being like firebender, you're like a waterbender. You move with the flow. Because you'll still work. You're still gonna work and hustle and build. But it's like now it's like And I think another thing I'll say I've noticed is it's kind of made me redefine what luck is, because I always thought luck was like some like stat you were just like born with that, oh, he's just lucky. But you'll find like the more I retain, just a bunch of other things occurs, but like you just feel like really lucky. Like things just happen. But when I look at it objectively, or you try to analyze it, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I've been doing the work for years. Like I've been working out for years. I've been doing that for years. I've been learning about credit and stuff for years. So this isn't shocking, but it's still like when it occurs, like, oh wow, like I didn't expect that. And that's why like it's really important to retain. Honestly, especially now, I think the most important things, like if you're a dude watching this, I don't care what you're doing, you got to work out and you got to retain. This is the bare minimum. But the funny thing is, when you do these two things, it's gonna put you in the 1%. That's how low the bar is. That's why our standards are too low. If I really think about objectively, our standards are so low where it's like, wow, like if those two things, you're in the 1%. But that should really be the norm. But it's really hard. That's why most people, don't do it, because everyone wants things now. We want now. No, you can't have it now. You got to put in the work. But like consistently too, I think that's another thing I've learned with myself, and just like, got to be consistent, like really consistent. Because a lot of us, some people, they're not even at competing, but some people, they're right there, but you're just missing out one thing. Once you do that one thing, boom, shit's going to start changing. That's been another thing in the past 120 days. Like, it's been very effortless to do like certain things that were very difficult before. And it's not, and don't get me wrong, it's not that SR. That's why the way you have to interpret it is, oh, it's like the ultimate amplifier. It's basically Sage Mode, because whatever you're doing, whatever state you're at, it's gonna amplify it. Because it's not like you can, of course, be a millionaire, do all these things without retention, but it's more so the power you're gonna gain from it is gonna make your odds much higher for it, because that's something everyone wants. Well, at least I thought. Some people don't, but that's fine. But it's gonna make it that much easier because you're doing something that's really difficult. And I feel like even myself, I think I've downplayed. And that's the thing too. It's like you have to. It's dangerous, because for me, I think a good mindset to have is not good enough. It's innately toxic, but I think Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, all these, they have that mindset, like not good enough, job's not finished, keep going. Even though you could objectively give yourself like, oh, 4 months, that's, most people can't do that. People, they can't goon. They can't go a week without gooning. Oh, you've done 4 months and it hasn't been hard. So good job, but nah, not good enough. Job's not finished. Hasn't been a year. There's some monks, they've done it for a decade. Job's not finished. Got to keep going. And that's how your standards just get that high. And I'll always reiterate that, like the standards that you have for yourself when you retain just get higher and higher and higher. And this is the problem too. It's like, you'll know too, like some people are like, oh, I know he goons. And it's not even my ego. It's like, damn, I just know. Because I never had the ability to do that before. So now you have the awareness. It's like, oh shit, damn, he probably goons, or oh, he's just, and you just subconsciously, you won't want to be around certain people. And it's not, and then here's the really powerful thing. This is where you're basically becoming like an anime character, like with Luffy and like hockey or whatever, where it's more so, okay, I sensed that this person was changing, or I sensed I didn't like this person. But that was before I started like seeing what they were doing. I started seeing what they were doing second, but I felt it first. And I'm like, that's power too. Because I guess it's faster to sense than to see, I think. I don't know if that made sense, but I'm sure someone understood that. But yeah, it's just been one of like the many things. Let me see what else. Sometimes I could talk about stuff for hours, and sometimes I get a brain cramp. But yeah, I'll say definitely the luck thing, and then definitely I gotta do a video on the whole like the gym, the whole like SR plus the gym, because that's the cheat code. If you have any sort of plateau, just retain. I promise on everything. That's just that plateau, the wall's gonna get destroyed within like weeks. Like it's really crazy the way I move now, and I'm doing everything. Well, I guess I'm eating better now, but I was always like pretty locked in on my diet. So the only other outlier was, I could say, it was retention. I was always sleeping well. I was working out. I was eating right. Only outlier was retention. Maybe there's other things, and as I retain more and more, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe it was that plus that, but retention made me do those things, which ended up in me being better at the gym. But I guess I'll develop the ability that probably way later down the line. But it really feels like a game almost. It's like cell leveling. Fucking every day is like, oh, boom, I did this difficult thing. I did everything I said I was gonna do, and it becomes like a pretty fun game. I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. Like this stuff's cool. Because for me, it's like I'm so good with my routine, guys. It's like You don't gotta go out. You don't gotta do dumb shit. You don't gotta eat goofy shit. You don't gotta eat goy slop. I don't need to do any of that. Like I'm good. I'm very good in the routine. 'Cause a lot of people, and for me too, people are like, oh, you're boring. No, you want to be boring because people just go out and do bunch of bullshit, straying them further from the purpose, further from God, further from alignment. And then the weird one is the one that doesn't do that stuff. And it's really crazy because looking back, I'm like, man, some of the shit coworkers would say, I'm like, damn, like these people they're so gone. But it doesn't even affect me more. Now I just laugh. I'm like, wow, like that's crazy. Like that used to actually bother me. And that's the power too. It's like you're still bothered by things. Like, don't get me wrong, there's still a bunch of work to do, but definitely way better than before. I mean, now I'm just like, whatever. I mean, people want to do that, it's whatever. But you're just like, people are going to do what they want. So you just got to do your own thing. But you get like really comfortable with that because you got to be comfortable really alone. Like, even for me, it's like, I'm on day 120. I can't imagine 200 plus. I can't, my circle, maybe it's the same, maybe it's very different. I'm not sure, but the more and more you do this, it's shit's gonna change. You're gonna outgrow people, unfortunately. I'm already experiencing it firsthand. I'll have to make more videos about that. And it's a little sad, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Me, it's like, I gotta keep going, We're trying to get to Christ consciousness, Godhood, like the Buddha, move hella weight, do hella shit, travel, do all these things. And it's like, I gotta do these difficult things. You gotta avoid pleasure, like really seek discomfort. Like you gotta, and that's like retention is, no one's forcing you to do it. And then here's the thing, right? People watch me, of course, but it's like, most people don't know I do this. So it's like, that's why like, there's nothing to like, it's not from validation. And that's why a lot of people, it's like, you're probably not gonna last if it's from the ego. Like, you have to do this because it's you. It's like, oh, you're just trying to push yourself. Like, that's how it is for me. Like, because especially with the gym too, it's like a lot of us, we start with the gym to get chicks, but you're not going to wake up at 5 a.m. consistently if it's for chicks. Maybe you are, maybe that's a good enough reason, but in my experience now, like I really got locked in. I was like, yeah, I don't need that because if you're going to the gym, you got to be so locked in where it's like, you don't have time to look around at ass and all this shit. Cause for me, it's like, if I don't, like, it's life or death. Like the way I'm moving now, like I might die or injure myself if I don't fucking lock in. But you got to get to a point where you start moving weight like that, where it's like, I go to the gym and like, okay, I got to push myself. I got to lock in. I can't be on my phone doom scrolling because I got to do my breath work in between sets. So I'm ready for the next set so I don't die. But I pushed myself hard enough so I actually, gain muscle and like achieve the shit I said I was going to do from working out. And the bar just gets higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, which is good. It's not a bad thing, but you got to be like, and you're not gonna be prepared for it too. That's something else too. It's like a lot of things we do, you're not gonna be prepared for it, but you got to be like, fuck Deku first time, Bakugo was, and he just runs out to save him. It was really dumb in hindsight, but you just got to do that sometimes too, Or he starts fucking going 100% against Shigaraki, and he's like, I'm gonna fuck what happens to my body. I'm gonna do this shit. Now, obviously, you get one body. You're not Deku, you're not him, so take care of your body. But that mentality of whatever it takes, like I'm gonna do this shit. Very important. And that's why I will continue the journey. We're going to continue to document it. All these changes, I don't know what I'll call this series. Maybe the SR Chronicles or I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, that's day 121. Stay tuned for more. Stay locked.